morning, everyone. Welcome to BiogasWorld's India Biogas webinar, discussing the opportunities and challenges of the Indian biogas market. As a reminder, this webinar is being recorded and will be shared with participants following the webinar. In addition, if you have any questions for our presenters, we invite you to write them in the chat, and we will ask our presenters following their presentations or in the Q&A at the end of the webinar. BiogasWorld hosts new country-focused webinars each month to discuss the opportunities and challenges within various markets. Be sure also to join us on our biogas community website for the latest updates and to network with companies in the biogas and RNG industry. I would like to thank our presenters for joining us today. Ekasjyot Singh Barara, co-founder and director at LR Energy, Abhijit Rajguru, deputy general manager at Clarke Energy, and Laura Soto, business development manager at Drycake. Our first presenter today is Ekasjyot Barara. Ekasjyot is the co-founder and director of growth and innovation at LR Energy, a leading renewable energy company. With a strong focus on compressed biogas and cutting-edge R&D, Ekasjyot plays a pivotal role in driving the company's mission to advance sustainable energy solutions in India. Ekasjyot, I'll pass the floor over to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ekasjyot Barara, and I'm the co-founder and director of growth and innovation at LR Energy. I'm thrilled to be speaking to you today. A special thank you to BiogasWorld and Biogas community for hosting this important webinar focused on the Indian biogas sector. Today, I'm here to showcase LR Energy, a company that has positioned itself as a leader in the renewable energy sector, especially in the development of compressed biogas solutions. As a project developer and technology provider, we are pioneering in sustainable energy solutions that are not only environmentally responsible, but also economically viable. Now, LR Energy is a renewable energy company dedicated to harnessing technology and innovations to create a cleaner and a greener future. Established in 2017, we specialize in solar power and biofuels, which are instrumental in reducing carbon footprints and promoting energy independence across India. We're managing renewable assets worth over $50 million with additional $100 million in the pipeline. Our vision is to lead the transition to a sustainable energy future by developing and deploying cutting-edge technologies. Since our inception, we have generated over 500,000 megawatt hours of renewable energy. That's a testament to our commitment towards the sustainability and environmental stewardship. While the primary focus today is on biogas, it's important to note that LR Energy has substantial experience in the solar energy as well. We have developed multiple megawatt scale solar power projects across the northern region of India, contributing significantly to our goal of providing reliable, sustainable power to communities and industries. These projects range from rooftop installations to large-scale solar farms, all which play a critical role in reducing carbon emissions and supporting India's energy transition. Now let's talk about what brings us here today, our work in the compressed biogas. In 2018, LR Energy embarked on its journey into biofuels, coinciding with the introduction of India's Satat initiative, which stands for Sustainable Alternative Towards Affordable Transportation. Satat was a game changer, and LR Energy was amongst the first companies to receive authorization to set up CBG projects under this policy. Our CBG projects represent a vital component of India's renewable energy landscape. By converting organic waste into clean, renewable fuel, we are transforming waste management practices while contributing significantly to the country's energy security. Our projects reduce greenhouse gas emissions and provide a sustainable alternative to fossil fuels, particularly in the transportation and industrial sectors. By the year 2030, our goal is to process over 25 million tons of waste annually through co-development of these projects across India. Besides this, we have also secured long-term sale agreements for our raw materials needed for the CBG projects. And we have partnered with Indian Oil, GAIL India Limited, and other OMCs for supply for the CBG. Now, a remarkable moment in our journey was when we secured GAIL India Limited's investment in our projects. Being the only company in the CBG industry which has an investment from GAIL is a strong endorsement of our capability and potential in this sector. Furthermore, the byproducts of our CBG process, such as organic manure, play a crucial role in reducing the use of chemical fertilizers and rejuvenating soil health, thus contributing to a sustainable agriculture. What sets LR Energy apart is our commitment to innovation and technology. We employ multi-feed technology, which allows us to process a wide range of organic substrates. Our research and development team continuously has tested over 40 substrates, which have maximum biogas yield and are commercially viable. This ensures that our projects are not only efficient, but are also flexible and scalable to meet varying local conditions. Why LR Energy? Now, let me summarize why we stand out as a partner in the renewable energy sector. We are pioneers in the use of multi-feed technology, which continues research and development and in-house testing to improve our anaerobic digestion in the digesters. Our long-term sale agreements and partnerships with the industry giants like GAIL India Limited provide us stability and reliability. Our projects contribute to reducing India's carbon footprint by generating carbon credits and offering sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels. Beyond energy, our CBG plants produce organic manure, which helps soils and supports sustainable agriculture. We are committed to making India a clean and more self-reliant while generating employment opportunities across the country. With a proven track record, including 2 operational CBG projects, we offer comprehensive engineering services to convert waste to energy. Now at LR Energy, we find seeing is believing, and that's when our projects come in. I would like to highlight our flagship projects, the first being 200 kilometers away from our HQ in the North India. This is a project where we process about 160 tons of sugarcane press mud and cattle dung on a daily basis. It produces 5.4 tons per day of CBG, 25 tons of dry organic manure, and about 100 kiloliters of liquid organic manure. This project is a key example of how we turn waste into energy. The photo on the right-hand side is a photo of our plant while it was in the construction phase. Similar to the first project, our Sonipat project is located about 100 kilometers away from our HQ. It's a very similar project to the Karnal with, I would say, more improvements and technology enhancements. Now, a significant difference in this project is that GAIL India Limited is a stakeholder in this project, reflecting the strong industry partnership we have built. Both of these projects are commissioned and operational. Both of the projects are ready to be scaled to a double capacity of 10.8 tons per day in the coming years. Now, the impact of our projects extend just beyond energy project production. For example, from our operational CBG projects, we can save over 50,000 tons of CO2 emissions per year. They also generate more than 100 jobs impacting 300 families. This contributes to the local economies. The fuel produced from these projects can support over 68 million kilometers of travel annually, offering a clean alternative to traditional fossil fuels. To put this into perspective, the emission savings from our projects could offset a substantial portion of the carbon footprint from India's transport sector, which is very critical for LR Energy and the country who's working towards climate goals. In closing, LR Energy is more than just a renewable energy company. We are a driving force in the biogas sector, and our future prospects are even more exciting. Looking ahead, our goal is to process 25 million tons of waste by 2030 to produce over 10 million tons of CBG per annum. It's a high target, but we like to pitch for the moon. Uh, and now the India's energy independence and environmental goals is something which we cater to. Our aim is to expand significantly our CBG footprint with using our CBG technologies and scaling our existing operations, exploring new regions, and maximizing our impact in waste to energy conversion. Also, a strong collaboration is a key to achieving success in the renewable energy space. And we welcome opportunities to work with partners who bring expertise, resources, and innovations to the table. With that being said, we are always looking out to partner with like-minded organizations, whether they are technology providers, raw material suppliers, financial institutions, or policymakers, who basically share the same vision as us for a sustainable future. Our mission is very clear: to drive India's energy independence and to reduce carbon emissions and create a self-reliant, sustainable ecosystem. With the right partnerships, cutting-edge technologies, and a dedicated team, Ella Energy is poised to continue its leadership in the biogas and the renewable energy sectors. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to addressing your questions you may have. My information is on your screen right now. Please feel free to reach out to me for any queries. Thank you.
Thanks for your presentation. Maybe a quick question. So how is LR Energy leveraging research and development to stay ahead in the renewable energy sector?
Well, at LR Energy, research and development is a key driver of our innovation, especially in the compressed biogas sector, as well as solar. So we are constantly investing our time and energy into the research and innovation division of the company, especially when it comes to the anaerobic digestion. As I mentioned, we have covered over 40 substrates, which are commercially viable in the country, where we can use these substrates, they are available, where we can use these substrates to put into the CBG project and generate biogas.
Great, thank you. One quick reminder, if there's any questions from the audience, we invite you to put them in the Q&A function, and we will try to get to them either after the presentation or if not at the Q&A portion at the end of the webinar. Thanks again for your presentation. And next we have Abhijit Rajguru. Abhijit has over 27 years of work experience in the industry and is currently serving Clarke Energy's offices in India, responsible for marketing and business development functions. Abhijit, I pass it over to you.
Thank you so very much, Ryan. Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I would like to first thank BiogasWorld for giving Clarke Energy India the opportunity to speak on this particular subject topic, opportunities and challenges of the Indian biogas market. In my presentation, I'll cover a brief introduction of Clarke Energy, our core competencies, India presence, our product offerings in specific to India geographical area, a slide on India's energy demand. We will take into consideration the CBG roadmap that prevails in India. What are the kind of potential that it has to offer? This is going to be feedstock specific. And then, let's also talk about few challenges, which of course is input which has been given by project developers. Next slide, please. So Clarke Energy is an authorized distributor and service provider for INEOS Jenbacher in 27 countries worldwide. Our focus is on both natural gas and non-natural gas applications. We have positioned ourselves as a EPC contractor for gas engine-based captive cogeneration and tri-generation solutions, and also for biogas upgrading solutions, battery energy storage systems, microgrids, carbon capture, utilization and storage, and the green hydrogen projects. We are headquartered in UK and are a service-driven organization with a very strong service ethos. We have an installed base of approximately 8.5 gigawatts, considering both natural gas and non-natural gas applications. Next slide, please. Coming to India geographical area, we are headquartered in Pune, state of Maharashtra, with satellite offices in Vadodara, Calcutta, Chennai, and Noida. We have several regional service centers located throughout the country, as well as 2 central spares facilities. In India, we are sitting on close to about 500 megawatts of installed base, out of which 400 megawatts is on the cleanest form of fossil fuel, which is natural gas, and remaining 100 megawatts on waste to energy projects. Next slide, please. Coming to India product offerings, we have been promoting gas engines for captive, cogeneration, and trigeneration application in India since the year 1997. Our first installation was in Kanoria Chemicals, Ankleshwar, which is a standalone distillery. Spent wash underwent anaerobic digestion to generate biogas, and then it fueled a 1.4 megawatt gas engine to generate electricity, and in the process, the waste heat that was available in the exhaust flue gases was also recovered by installing a waste heat recovery boiler to generate low pressure steam. We are also offering biogas upgrading solutions in India geographical area using membrane gas separation technology. Next slide, please. Clarke Energy at the group level has handled biogas generated from agricultural waste, food waste, wastewater treatment plants, starch industry sector, dairy industry sector, and landfill sites. Next slide, please. So at Clarke Energy, we offer a flexible delivery model, starting with a single gas engine or a biogas upgrader, or it could be a biogas upgrading plant, which is coupled with a biogas-based power plant, all with the intent of trying to make the entire plant self-sufficient energy-wise to supplying power modules. And typically in power modules, you try to recover the waste heat which is available in 2 sources. One is from the exhaust flue gases, and the second being the hot water circuit. Clarke Energy can also supply a turnkey installation of a multi-engine power plant. Next slide, please. We at Clarke Energy's offices in India offer an end-to-end service for projects related to both gas to power as well as biogas upgrading solutions using membrane gas separation technology. Next slide, please. Now let's come to the India's energy demand and the gas transition market. You all must be aware that India ranks 14th in the world for natural gas consumption and 22nd in the world for natural gas reserves. India has set a target to enhance the component of natural gas in the energy basket from the present 6% to 15% by 2030. According to recent reports, almost 46% of India's natural gas demand is being met through imports. Now, CBG, or biomethane renewable natural gas, is a domestic renewable energy source, and it definitely holds a substantial promise to bridge this gap and achieve the country's clean energy objectives. Next slide, please. Now, if you see the India's CBG roadmap, you will see that the first policy which came in place was in 2013. We call it as the so-called specifications or parameters of the biomethane or renewable natural gas, IS 16087 2013, and later on, of course, there was some sort of an enhancement which happened where IS 16087 2016 came into picture. And what we understand is that these standards are likely to undergo further changes very shortly. So the CBG segment in India has received a substantial policy impetus. Next slide, please. In 2018, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, which is MOPNG, launched the Sustainable Alternative Towards Affordable Transportation SATAT scheme to promise and promote the production and utilization of CBG as an alternative green fuel for the transport segment. It aims to reduce India's dependence on oil and gas imports by producing CBG using agricultural waste, waste from the sugar industry, that is press mud, waste also from the distilleries, municipal solid waste, and waste from sewage treatment plants. The MOPNG set a target of producing 15 metric million tons per annum of CBG by 2024. However, this target has not been achieved, and under SATAT, currently 53 plants are operational. Next slide, please. In November 2022, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, MNRE, notified the National Bioenergy Program. It was recommended for implementation in 2 phases, with a total budget outlay of approximately 17.15 billion rupees, 17.15 billion, of which 8.58 billion were allocated in phase 1. The program offers a central finance assistance. So anyone who wants to set up a plant can definitely avail this sort of a central finance assistance being offered by MNRE. And when you are talking of the CFA in specific, then the incentive is approximately rupees 40 million per 4,800 kg per day of CBG production from new biogas plants, and rupees 30 million per 4,800 kg of CBG per day from existing biogas plants. Next slide, please. Now, in addition to bio-CNG or biomethane or renewable natural gas, as one of the revenue streams for the project developer, one cannot ignore the fact that, a CBG plant also, produces a lot of fermented organic manure. And that is also something which should be taken into consideration as a revenue stream. Of course, there were challenges to start with. Slowly but surely, the policies are falling in place. So to this effect, the market development assistance has been provided by the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers to promote the use of fermented organic manure. It could be also liquid fermented organic manure, and a PROM, which is phosphate rich organic manure, and the assistance being given is rupees 1,500 per ton of the manure. Next slide, please. Earlier projects in India focused more on the bio-CNG application, where renewable natural gas, which is coming out from the purification system, you compress it to close to about 250 bar to do cascade filling, and then the cascades are being taken to the dispensing station. Of late, everyone with the intent of trying to bring down the logistic cost and making sure that the project is viable, were pressing hard in terms of having some sort of a facility whereby grid injection could be offered to the CBG project developers. So government has sanctioned a scheme for the development of even the pipeline infrastructure for the injection of CBG into the CGD network. The allocated budget for this initiative, as per the recent reports, is approximately 9.95 billion rupees for the period 2023-2024 and 2025-2026. The scheme will create CBG CGD grid connectivity for approximately 100 CBG projects with reduced logistic costs. Next slide, please. So when we are talking of potential, as I mentioned, the potential is more from the point of view of the feedstock. When I talk to my offices in US, UK, France, everyone talks only in relation to agricultural residue. But when it comes to India, people talk of different feedstocks. You're talking of press mud, which is a waste from the sugar mills. You're talking of spent wash, coming from the distillery industry sector. You have got sewage treatment plants. You have the agricultural residue, and you also have the poultry and the animal manure. So as per the recent reports of CSE, close to about 62 million metric tons per annum is the potential, taking into consideration these feedstocks. What I understand from project developers is that, with certain challenges, everyone tends to go with multi-feedstock. So it is just not going to be one feedstock which is going to undergo the anaerobic digestion or the biomethanization, but it is always going to be a multi-feed. Next slide, please. So now talking about the challenges in relation to the CBG sector. Of course, this is all inputs which have been given by project developers who are setting up plants, whether it is with a single feedstock or whether it is with a multi-feedstock. And also very recently, people talking about energy crop like Napier grass, which is also gaining a lot of momentum. The CBG sector in India has its own challenges, starting right from the feedstock stage. There are issues of inconsistent quantity and quality of raw material, which often leads to increased prices when the demand is high. Substantial investments are needed for proper storage of the feedstock and to prevent the seepage of leachate. This typically is what I have come across when it comes to press mud as a waste from the sugar mills. Sugar mills in India, the operation is anywhere from 160 to 180 days. But then, you have to ensure that the press mud is stored, if that's going to be one of the feedstock for your project, which is likely to undergo the anaerobic digestion. So you need to have a proper storage done so that you can utilize it over the entire 365 days for production. When it comes to municipal solid waste, proper segregation is difficult and expensive. And when non-segregated material comes in, then it is definitely going to affect your biogas yield or biogas production. In addition, the lack of monetization of the fermented organic manure, a key to as a revenue source for any CBG project developer, remains a key risk, though there is a lot of focus now from the government to ensure that there are policies in place in relation to the fermented organic manure, whether it is in the solid form, liquid form, or whether it is also the PROM, which is phosphate-rich organic manure. A key challenge that needs to be addressed going forward is the cost of establishing a CBG project. So low cost funding at lower collaterals is needed to reduce the cost of projects. The availability of feedstock at an assured price over a long-term basis is key to ensuring that project costs do not escalate when you start operating the plant. To this end, subsidies which are forming a part of the biogas aggregation equipment, which is the BAM policy, which has not been covered by me, will definitely be beneficial. Exemption from excise duty and value-added tax, or bringing natural gas under the ambit of GST is needed to solve the problems of double taxation when CBG is blended and sold in the CNG as well as the PNG networks, which typically falls under the ambit of the city gas distribution company. Another challenge which I can think of is if you really want to reduce your project cost, then the location of the plant is going to play a very critical role. Plants should be located close to the feedstock to avoid high transportation costs. In addition, it is important to ensure that no other large CBG projects are there in the vicinity, so that the cost of the raw material does not rise and the raw material is available for use. So if you go through the Uttar Pradesh state government policy, then Uttar Pradesh state government policy talks about one CBG plant per tehsil, which I think, in my opinion, is one of the good models to be implemented. Last, despite several challenges in the CBG space, in my opinion, the outlook for the sector is definitely positive. So thank you so very much for your patient listening. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I'll just pull a question here. So what is the target percentage to replace with renewable energy?
Sorry?
What's the target percentage for replacement with renewables?
Well, CBG is being looked upon as one of the alternative fuels, all with the intent of trying to reduce the import bill in specific, to the crude oil imports. Now, even on natural gas, we are talking from the present 6% to 15%. And at the same time, because 46% of natural gas is currently being imported to meet our energy requirements, the government is pushing very hard and having all the policies in place to make sure that this sector also gets the momentum uh, in the near future.
All right, great. Thank you for your presentation. Next, we have Laura Soto. Laura is
Thank you so
Laura
much.
is looking to showcase the patented creation of Drycake developers, the Twister, a piece of machinery that separates packaging materials from organic waste for optimum pulp quality and clean, recyclable rejects of significant worth. It's perfect for food waste operations. Laura, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you very much, Ryan. My name is Laura, and I work promoting the technologies of Drycake. They have provided separation technology for liquid and solid waste reuse and recovery infrastructure for more than 25 years. And first of all, I'd like to thank India for launching a global biofuels alliance just a year ago in the space of BiogasWorld to be able to network with possible and very inspiring opportunities that we were just discussing. This is a high-level support group that is encouraging, and probably India's leadership is doing this faster adoption of biofuels worldwide. They plan to do this through better technology and smart use of resources, so that's great. This is a really big deal for the green energy world. It aims to push countries and businesses to use more green fuels, just like biogas and biomethane, helping our planet breathe better. And Drycake does also the same. We are dedicated to making a meaningful impact on our planet through innovative infrastructure, solutions that enhance sustainability and efficiency in waste management. Our process packages enhance environmental sustainability by recovering clarified liquids and dry solids from process streams. We minimize landfill waste, generate bioenergy, and increase the availability of water in the environment. So Drycake is a leading global provider of separation technologies specializing in reusing and recovering liquid and solid waste. It is far from easy to review all of Drycake's products. Okay, so we're just going to focus on one specifically, which is the packaging process, since there are so many other applications that are listed in the presentation. Thanks to our dedicated research and development team, our equipment range is continually evolving and improving, ensuring it remains the top choice for quality, reliability, and performance. Drycake's technical department excels in managing all design activities. It really, from the initial feasibility to final implementation, we offer a comprehensive process validation service, which can be conducted either in our lab or on site with the pilot testing in our manufacturing facility. Drycake plants are operated using PLC systems and are equipped with the necessary instruments to continually monitor key process parameters such as temperature, pressures, flow rate. So the years of experience has led us to develop the Twister food waste depackager. Where is the depackager placed in this process? Well, essentially, food waste in landfills continue to encompass a sizable portion of greenhouse gas emissions each year. We all know that. According to data released by the Environmental Protection Agency, only in the US alone last year, 58% of methane emissions are from municipal solid waste landfills. So organics recycling programs are not new. Improved understanding of the challenges and possibilities associated with these processes can help transform perceived complications in the process and into an economic environmental within the circular economy. So the primary purpose of the Twister, which is the machine that you can see in my presentation, is to produce clean and organic material for use as a feedstock for anaerobic digestion plant and composting. The secondary purpose is to produce an output, which is the rest of the material, and formally referred as rejects or discharge. It has a high durability and built-in quality to ensure long-term reliability. And we all know machines consumes a lot of power, so the Twister considers energy efficiency models to reduce operational cost. Whether you're buying a machine for the first time, upgrading outdated technology, expanding an existing facility, or thinking about all of these new potential opportunities, we know about the challenges of waste. So what is your input? What are your output requirements? We go through capacity and throughput. The twister offers adjustable settings for different particle sizes, which can be crucial depending on your application. Additional upstream or downstream equipment might be needed, depending on the complexity of the product and the output requirements. So the twister is a third generational vertical cyclonic separation technology developed by Drycake. The key feature here is that the separation is not done through size reduction, but by a vortex effect. Like a twister or a tornado, the light materials lift up in a spiral movement in a turbulence. The twister is the only depackager that can handle large plastics and textiles. Even a small carpet has gone through the twister. There's no need for a shredder ahead. So the separation is done strictly by wind force, vortex effect, tumbling, vibrating, not by shredding. As the packaging materials that are being removed remain larger in size, they are lifted simultaneously by the twister movement rather than being conveyed over a screen or a compacting zone. The organics drain freely at the bottom. We're going to see that slide in just a second. The accumulation of heavier organic at the bottom of the separation chamber is prevented by chains that continuously grind and eliminate the cleaning at the end of the sheet or the need of maintenance and stops during the operation. This is just an illustration of examples of the loading operation of how the twister and how it can be done. It will depend on each facility and it would need to be revised by the design process for each project. The vertical depackager is sideways, as you can see. The receiving hopper directly feeds the organic waste to the vertical depackager through the feeder screw, as shown in the picture. And I'll explain you a little bit more about what happens in that chamber. At the filtering zone, the vortex pressure and turbulence push the organics materials through the filter so that the organics output is a soup that contain an industry-leading high-quality pulp, perfect for anaerobic digestion and composting. The organics fall back into a submerged bottom at the twister, as you can see from step 1. The turbine generates a vortex effect that sucks up the rejects and makes a high-speed centrifugal discharge that is clean and free from organic matter and dirt. The turbine plates that you see from the step 2 at the vortex effect, they act like a baseball bat and knock and bounce the heavy rejects upward. 2 or more vertical plates spaced apart around the circumference of the shaft are configured to create a suction force to lift the plastics and packaging upwards once it has left the liquid mixture, as you can see from step 2. So the extraction zone might contain anything that people put on waste bins. These can be classified into 2 primary materials: heavy rejects such as steel cans, aluminum cans, glass, bolts, nuts, textile, stones, and even kitchenware. It has gone through the twister. So the light rejects could be somewhere from Tetra Pak, carbon core, cartons, films, plastics, even paper. If it's not wetted enough to soften and drop into the organic stream, it will go upward. As far as the performance guarantee of the twister, we are talking about a 99.7 clean organic output. So as I said, this is perfect for any type of facility, such as a composting, food waste to biogas, manure to biogas, and the contamination is below 0.5% in the organic outlet. I'll show you 3 key differentiators considering other competitors of similar technology. Tungsten carbide paddles is one stainless steel construction and free discharge. There's no obstructions on the discharge at the top. And one thing that I like to also highlight is that the plate configuration in the chamber that we just discussed allow the trajectory of the waste and has a cleaning effect without shredding the material that is being cleaned. Adjustments can be made to the side and angle of one or more of the balancing plates. The change of the angle can disturb the helical path of the light materials to ensure proper tiering of the packaging in applications where the packaging is difficult to open. These are all patented protected, and these are just examples of clean and dry packaging. A complete list of performance videos can be found in our YouTube channel, and you're also welcome to ask for some of those videos also. This is the example of the carpet that comes out undamaged, and a tray of exotic foods. You know how these packages can be very light, but the gentle operation of the twister allows it to come out in one piece. Exchangeable screens allow different materials input to be handled. The patented filtration screens result in clean organic soup without the need of a second pass. These are examples of custom design layouts. Drycake is in the position to offer a complete range of products and accessories for the organics operations of any waste diversion, biogas, or composting a facility. We've seen the rising concern of visible plastics in the solids and liquids that are beneficially, that aren't really a good use. And so the SETI tank could prevent plastics from entering the anaerobic digester also. And it's a sedimentation system that allows the floatants to be taken out. I'm also going to show you right now the use cases of the twister, 3 examples. One right now is in Poland. They're treating source separated organics, and they are having great success with how the material is being come out very clean and clean soup also. This is in Quebec, and although the operation does involve a shredding before, the plastics are somehow shredded, but they are completely clean. And this is a very small mini twister in a dry operation of gypsum. So we also if you have any questions, or just feel free to request a quote, discuss your project. We would be more than glad to go over any type of questions that you may have. And I'm really thanking all of the panelists and the opportunity to present with such a great potential in the India market. So thank you, Ryan.
Great, thanks for your presentation. I'll pull one quick question from the audience here. So it's on the size of the Drycake twister. So what's the largest size that is offered? And for example, this person is looking for something with 3,000 tons per day MSW.
That would be, we have a 20-ton, we have a capacity of 50 ton per day, 50 ton per hour, sorry. And we've also seen the twister perform at 20 tons per hour, but it will totally depend on the feedstock. So we can always determine maybe another step to go through the feedstock. I guess study a little bit more about the feedstock, and we'll be more than glad to give you a quote about that.
Great, thanks for your presentation. Before we move into the full Q&A, I can provide a few numbers for those that are interested on the number of facilities that are operating in India. There is a amount of variation between officially published numbers with a large number of community digesters. So I'm just going to share the what's been shared on the Govardhan portal. So the official numbers for biogas facilities, there's about 864 facilities operational, with over 350 under construction and development. And for CBG, there are over 100 active sites registered, with over 600 under construction or in development. So for those that might be interested in that. So for now, with that, we'll move into the Q&A with our panelists. So one question I'll direct to our panel. So it seems like the SAT objectives are not yet met. So do you think these objectives are realistic? Are they something that might be, feasibly met within the coming years?
Is this for all, or?
Yeah, if you want to take the question, you can take it.
Well, Satat was launched way back in the year 2018. The entire CBG industry, there were challenges in terms of even demand creation. But over a period of time, if you see the entire CBG plant per se, whether it is to do with the feedstock, whether it is to do with the end product, which is biomethane or renewable natural gas, it is to do with the fermented organic manure. Slowly but surely, all the policies are now in place. To just give you a small example, even when it came to the production of CBG, earlier the oil and gas marketing companies did not have any sort of a mandate uh, to offtake that particular gas. Very recently, there is now a notification in place which says 50% take or pay. So slowly but surely, the policies are in place. The government has done all it could in terms of having the right set of policies in place to make sure that the project developers are able to go ahead and invest in these plants. And with the so-called energy demand that prevails in India, and also taking into consideration the fact that uh, when it comes to natural gas, to meet our demand, we have to import it. Uh, that's where I feel that this particular sector is definitely going to gain momentum.
Great, thank you. Ekas, do you want to jump in on that also?
Sure. I think rightly pointed out by Abhijit there, the policies are all set. The country's vision is very clear to have these projects up and running as soon as possible to reduce our dependence on the natural gas imports. The country has decided to be a self-reliant, Atmanirbhar is what we call here. And the vision is very clear. Although there will be a lot of challenges as we move ahead, I do believe it's just been about 5 to 6 years since these the policies have been in place and the projects have started. So it's a long way ahead, and India has a great potential when it comes to tapping the waste. There's a potential as per the presentation by Abhijit, 63 million tons of CBG to be produced per annum. So that's a big number, and we are nowhere near that. So yes, the industry is here to stay. The momentum is great, and yeah, I think we will definitely achieve the targets soon.
Did you want to add a comment also, Laura? Okay, so then on
it's okay.
the topic of the potential then, so do you believe the market will slow down, will accelerate? Do you think it will continue to grow at the same pace? What are your thoughts on that? I'll leave that to all our panelists.
All right, I think I can take that first. So it's the energy demand, if you see historically, globally, it's always rising. And in India, the rise has been quite dramatic at about 8 to 9% of energy demand. And I believe, having said that, it's pretty obvious that the country is one of the biggest, it's one of the most populated nations. The energy demand will always be less, and from what we can provide. So the momentum and the acceleration to this industry is going to rise. And through the CBG projects, the country has made it very clear that we are not mitigating the energy demand. We are actually mitigating the natural gas reliance on the transport fuel. So these projects that are being set up, they're strictly for replacement of CNG for the transport vehicles. So that's where the Indian market has a stand.
Just to add on, look at the solar and the wind, curve in India. So any new sort of an application that comes in, it takes certain amount of time to have the right set of policies in place. It's always not going to be a smooth ride. There are going to be it's maybe over a shorter period it's going to be a bumpy sort of a ride. But then look at the solar and the wind market today in India. So as rightly pointed out by Vikas, I think the energy demand in the country is going to grow, and this is going to be one of the application where there is going to be a lot of interest that is going to get developed, not only by the OGMCs, that is the oil and gas marketing companies, but also private investment coming in. So the future definitely looks good.
Great, thank you, Laura. Did you want to add a comment on that?
Well, it sounds very exciting on the opportunities that Abhijit mentioned because the challenges do present several projects that might be, in the future, and that's very exciting to us, which would want to and market and provide the opportunity to give solutions in the processes that you guys are developing. So thank you for that.
Great, thanks. So with the end of our time, maybe I can ask for 1 or 2 lines tops, parting thoughts for the development and the potential of the Indian biogas market.
From 2018 till 2024, I have been interacting with project developers. We undertook the product developmental strategy for biogas upgrading solutions just about 1.5 to 2 years back when it comes to India geographical area, though our offices in France and US and UK are way ahead in terms of the application per se. But having discussed with the project developers, understanding the challenges, meeting people from the ministry, I definitely feel that all the so-called points or loopholes that were there in terms of making sure that this application gains momentum have been capped. The policies are in place. Very recently, even the CBG CGD synchronization scheme, where project developers were finding it very difficult to lay the pipeline, because of the ROU, the right of use. And that's where the ministry has pitched in, and now there is going to be certain amount of incentive that is going to be given from one of the infrastructure companies to the CGD companies for laying the pipeline, as long as 75 kilometers. So with all this in place, my take is that this particular application is definitely going to gain momentum for sure.
Thanks, Laura.
Great to hear. That's great to hear. So we should connect further.
Yeah, I think I'll add some thoughts to that. The Indian biogas market has been existent since the 2000s. And the biogas projects that Ryan mentioned, they have been existing since more than 10, 15 years. Although now is the time when the government decided to pull the trigger on the policies. And I can assure you that the policies are fantastic. Although the ride will be bumpy, else it's no fun. You don't learn in that sense. So the policies are in place. It's already been 6 years. The government is also welcoming a lot of changes when it comes to policy, amendments. And I see that India might not go through the learning curve of technology acceptance and project development that has happened already across the globe. So unlike the other renewable industries, solar, wind, and hydro. So I definitely see a very clear strategy from the government side. Probably that's the reason why we decided to jump onto the Satat scheme as soon as we learned about it back in 2018. And we are going ahead with full force. So we are very hopeful in regards to the CBG sector in India.
Do you have any parting words, Laura?
I would like to thank the opportunity of biogas community to be able to present and have a network opportunity with India and face through the challenges and also see what are the potential opportunities. So thank you for the networking.
Great. Thank you all for your presentations. So that concludes our time today. As a reminder, the webinar recording will be shared with participants next week. If we're unable to get to your questions, we'll share them with our presenters and invite them to send a response to the question via the biogas community. We invite everyone to join us on our biogas community platform to stay up to date with content for the Indian Biogas Market Focus Month and to participate in September's Focus Month on the French and German biogas markets. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to join us today and thank our presenters, Ekasjyot Singh Barara from LR Energy, Abhijit Rajguru from Clarke Energy, and Laura Soto from Drycake. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all.